Welcome to the Coach's Corner here. We're amongst the coaches here. We have Torrian Gray, the defensive back coach at South Carolina. Well, Coach, you got a challenge in week one coming up here. I'm sure nobody's told you that yet.
Well, no, we're just finding out. We got a challenge week one. You know, North Carolina's going to be on game day, so that's exciting. Really doesn't add any extra pressure because the ultimate goal, regardless of who's watching, is to win, but it makes it fun for sure.
You've done a great job being a former coach. I have watched. You've done a great job of preparing kids for the next level. They're going to be talking about South Carolina being DBU here real soon, though. But the kids that you put in the league there, just talk about that, the job you've done, what you're looking for, and what you are teaching the kids to get there.
Well, I've been fortunate for my years coming up to coach a lot of talented guys. First of all, you got to have guys that have talent, but I like to think that I do a great job of developing that talent, trying to push the right buttons on individuals to get them to maximize those talents. So that's what I love to do. I have a passion for that. So I believe the guys that have gone on, that I've coached and played on the next level, when they go and they play professionally and they get up to the pro level and they're like, okay, coach, man, I see why you coach me the way you did, or I appreciate you teaching me the game of football. So, I love to hear those things, and I love to prepare them to reach their goals.
Last year, the injury bug bit you back there, and you were forced to use some young kids in there, and they surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, they did.
And the good thing about freshmen are they become sophomores. You got them back, though. But just talk to us a little bit about your secondary that you've got going into the season this year.
Well, the guys that played last year, of course, as freshmen, that was rare as far as the level that they played at. The level they played at, I'm talking about Nick Eman-Ward and DQ Smith. The level those guys played at in the SEC for true freshmen, that was truly remarkable. But they were still freshmen. There's a lot of room to grow, to be a lot more consistent. But now they're sophomores, as you say, so it's like they're old guys now, even though they're only sophomores because they've had so much playing experience. Well, the flip side of that is not everybody's Nick Eman-Ward and DQ Smith. So I got a lot of freshmen this year. We got to get prepared to play and to add depth to us. And, we got to fall camp to see if we can get them up to speed, and that's not an easy thing.
You had another young one last year, the bowl game. A Fortune comes in there and has to play because of circumstances and all, but you had him ready to play, and doggone if he doesn't get a pick six in the bowl game.
Absolutely. O'Donnell's a very talented guy. It was great to see him have the success he had in the Notre Dame game, because now that only builds confidence in him coming to this year. So the goal is to see if we can do it throughout a season. God willing, he stays healthy, and I love what Marcel Dow was able to do last year, and expect him to play at a all-conference level this year. And behind those guys, we got to get a lot of guys to learn with some urgency and grow up quickly.
Being from the Spartanburg area up here, we've had some guys at Upper State. You had one from Burns who played. You've got Dial from Woodruff up that way, though. But
okay.
Some of the guys in the Upper State have come in and had some success in your program.
Absolutely. Jalen Foster was former walk-on, All-American. Had him for 1 year. He was a rock for us, so it was a blessing. And I keep hearing about this. I'm a native Floridian, so I'm still trying to learn this upper state, lower state thing. But if they can play, I'll take them from the upper state, lower state, wherever. But no, those guys have been good for us.
We'll have to get you up to upper state there. We'll show you the ropes.
All right, absolutely.
We talked earlier about this too, though, about the hardest part. One of the hardest things in coaching, I guess, DBs is when they make a mistake. You're on the island back there. A lot of mistakes if you miss a tackle inside the box and things like that. You don't really see. You don't know it goes unnoticed. But if you make a mistake in the secondary, 80,000 people see and start frowning. Talk about the mentality. First of all, you got to have as a player on that, knowing that, hey, I got this guy one-on-one, and I know a lot of your guys are going to probably have that on their mind in Charlotte that first game.
Absolutely. Well, my job as a coach is to make them understand the urgency of the position, because, as you mentioned, if a defensive tackle is in the wrong gap, if the linebacker fits the wrong hold or miss a tackle, we're behind those guys, and we got a chance to get them down. But if we miss that tackle, it's probably going to go for a touchdown or a long play. there's an urgency, there's a responsibility, there's accountability to that as a defensive back. If I'm a cornerback and they throw the ball over our head, everybody's going to see that. There's an urgency, there's accountability. So my mindset has to be an entirely different mindset, in my opinion. I have to coach them within that mindset, and they got to understand this is a whole different ball game with what we do on the back end.
My last question is this right here. It's a tough profession. I mean, you've got pressure on week in, week out. You know, people fuss into the secondary gets burned or something
Absolutely.
like that. What do you enjoy most about this job?
That's a great question. Do I enjoy the pressure? I think the pressure drives me. But it is pressure because, like I say, the position that we coach, man, I try to sell our guys. You win and lose games by plays you make or you don't make in the secondary. And it is a tough profession, but I love it. And I think that's what drives me to coach the way I coach and to prepare the way I prepare to try to get those guys ready.
Coach, I always enjoy watching your guys play, the secondary guys back there, because I know how challenging it is, though, and wish you the best of luck.
Well,
this
thanks,
season.
Dick. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.